50 seasons. 50. The greatest social experiment on television just brought back its most legendary players ever, and before the sun even set on day one, somebody already destroyed their game with one single decision. The worst part is they had absolutely no clue how badly they just messed up. You're about to find out exactly who made that game-ending blunder and why it is even worse than it looks on the surface. We are also going to break down the alliance that formed on day one that absolutely nobody saw coming. And I have got a prediction about who is actually in the best strategic position right now that I think is going to surprise a lot of people. If you are a Survivor fan who lives for the blind sides, the strategy, and the messy, chaotic tribal councils, you're exactly where you need to be. Subscribe and hit that bell so you do not miss a single breakdown this season, because trust me, season 50 is going to be wild. Okay, so let us set the stage here, because Survivor 50 is not just another returning player season. This is the season. This is the one Jeff Probst has been dreaming about for literally years. 50 seasons of the greatest reality competition show ever made, and CBS decided to go all in by bringing back the most iconic players to ever play this game. We are talking Boston Rob, Parvati Shallow, Tony Vlachos, the king of the Spy Shack himself, Sandra Diaz-Twine, the only two-time winner before season 40, Cirie Fields, the woman who has been robbed by this game more than any human being alive, Tyson, Jeremy Collins, Kim Spradlin, who literally played one of the most flawless games in Survivor history, Richard Hatch, the original winner who started all of this. This cast reads like a Survivor Hall of Fame ballot, and every single person on that beach knows exactly how dangerous everyone else is. On-screen text showing each player's name and season record as they are mentioned, and that is what makes this premiere so different from anything we have seen before. There are no layups. There are no GOATs. Every single person out there has won this game or come painfully close to it. Which means the strategy did not start at the first challenge. It started the second those players locked eyes on the boat ride in. You could literally see the calculations happening behind their eyes. The nervous energy on that beach was something I have never felt watching this show before. These people respect each other, but they also fear each other, and that combination is absolute dynamite. But here is where things get really interesting and honestly kind of messy, because I almost forgot to mention the part that had me literally yelling at my screen. The tribes got divided up, and immediately the dynamics were insane. You have got players who have been on the same seasons before, players who have been allies, players who have been straight-up enemies, all suddenly forced to coexist on the same beach and figure out where the trust lines fall. And in a game loaded with this many legends, the question is not who is a threat, because everyone is a threat. The real question is, who can you afford to keep around, and who do you need to cut before they cut you first? On screen show the tribe division moment from the episode, and this brings us to the moment. The huge mistake that the title of this video is all about. So let me paint the picture for you, because the way this played out was almost hard to watch. One of the biggest names on this entire cast, someone who has played this game multiple times, someone who you would think would know better after all these years, came out of the gate way too hard and way too fast. I am talking about approaching practically everyone on their tribe with alliance pitches within the first few hours, going up to people and essentially floating final 3 deals before they had even finished building the shelter. And look, I get it. When you are on a season with this much firepower, you feel like you have to move fast or you will get left behind. But there is a massive difference between being proactive and being flat-out reckless. And this crossed the line into reckless real quick, and the other players noticed immediately. You could see it in their faces, the side glances, the little whisper conversations that started happening the second this person walked away. It was like watching someone light a match inside a fireworks factory and then act genuinely surprised when everything started exploding around them. On-screen text saying day one and already in trouble, and here is what made it even worse. While this person was running around the beach cutting deals with everybody, the rest of the tribe was quietly forming a real solid tied alliance that was specifically built around the idea of getting this person out first. That is the alliance I mentioned at the top of this video that nobody saw coming. Players who you would never in a million years expect to work together looked at each other and basically said, yeah, that person has got to go before they blow up all of our games. Now here is the thing, and I really need you to hear me on this, because we are only getting started. What happened at Tribal Council was just a tip of the iceberg. The game that is forming underneath the surface right now is so much deeper and more complex than anything this first episode could fully show us. On screen show Tribal Council footage. Okay, so here are my hot takes, and I know some of these might ruffle some feathers, but I am going to say it anyway. The player who made that huge mistake is not necessarily done in this game. I know that sounds crazy after everything I just told you, but hear me out. We have seen players recover from absolutely terrible starts before. Boston Rob literally did it on Redemption Island. The question is whether this person has the self-awareness to pull back, take a breath, and play a quieter, more subtle game moving forward. If they can do that, they might survive longer than anyone expects. Second, and this is the take that I think is going to start some real debates in the comments, I actually believe the player who is in the best position right now is someone that most people are completely sleeping on. While everyone is focused on the big flashy names and the loud personalities, there is a quieter, more calculating player who is sitting in the perfect strategic spot. They have got connections on their tribe without being seen as the ringleader. They have got a reputation that is dangerous enough to be respected, but not so dangerous that people feel like they need to take a shot at them right away. And they are playing the exact kind of patient game that wins in the modern era of Survivor. Drop a comment right now and tell me who you think is in the best position after this premiere, because I am genuinely curious to see if anyone else is picking up on what I am seeing. And my big picture prediction for this season is this. I think the old school versus new school battle is going to play out in a way it never has before. The newer era players understand the frantic pace of modern Survivor and all the advantages and twists. But the old school legends understand the fundamentals of the social game better than anyone who has ever played. Whoever figures out how to bridge that gap between old school social instincts and new school strategic speed is going to win this entire thing. On screen text saying old school versus new school, who wins? So let me break it down for you real quick. Survivor 50 came out swinging with the most stacked cast in the history of this show. One legend made a massive strategic blunder that put a giant target on their back before the first challenge even happened. And the alliances that are already forming underneath the surface are setting up what could be the most unpredictable and chaotic season we have ever seen. Now here is what I need you to know. The preview for episode 2 has a moment so jaw-dropping that people who caught it are already losing their minds online, and I am going to break that down the second it airs, so if you do not want to miss it, you know what to do. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit subscribe if you are not already part of the family, and turn on notifications because this season of Survivor is going to move fast and I have got you covered every single week. I will see you in the next one. Top 5 SEO tags for this video are Survivor 50 Episode 1 Recap, Survivor 50 Premiere Breakdown, Survivor 50 Legends Season, Survivor Season 50 First Episode, Survivor 50 Biggest Mistake. The optimized video description reads as follows. Survivor 50 just premiered and it delivered everything we have been waiting for and so much more. The most legendary cast in Survivor history hit the beach and the strategy started from the very first second. In this full breakdown, we cover the massive mistake one returning legend made on day one that immediately put a target on their back, the surprise alliance that quietly formed to take control of the game, and predictions about who is actually in the best position to win this historic season. Whether you have been watching since Richard Hatch won Season 1 or you jumped in during the new era, this is going to be unlike anything Survivor has ever done. Subscribe now so you do not miss a single weekly breakdown, and drop a comment telling us who you think is playing the best game after the premiere. 3 thumbnail concepts described in plain sentences. The first thumbnail shows a dramatically shocked reaction face on the left side with the Survivor 50 logo large in the background and big red text reading "Huge Mistake" with an arrow pointing toward a slightly blurred image of the Tribal Council set. The second thumbnail is a split image with a confident legendary player on one side and a torch being snuffed on the other side with bold text reading "Day 1 Disaster" and the Survivor 50 logo in the corner. The third thumbnail features Jeff Probst with a wide-eyed stunned expression next to a group shot of the Survivor 50 cast with a bright red circle highlighting one player and text that simply says already with a question mark. The YouTube Shorts hook version reads as follows. Somebody on Survivor 50 just made the worst strategic move I have ever seen in a premiere episode. This is a season with Boston Rob, Parvati, Tony, Sandra, Siri, and literally every Survivor legend you can think of. And one of them walked onto that beach and immediately started pitching final 3 deals to everyone on their tribe before they had even finished building the shelter. And here is the thing, the rest of the tribe noticed instantly. Every single one of them. Within hours there was already a secret alliance forming specifically designed to get this person out of the game. On day 1, you would think with a cast this legendary everyone would know better, but apparently being an icon does not make you immune to playing too hard too fast. Survivor 50 is going to be absolutely insane, and I am breaking down everything, so hit follow right now.